Hey everybody, Chris Pirillo here, driving in my car and recording this video on my iPhone as I have it wedged into the console of my dashboard. Driving home, I normally talk to myself in the car. I figured, hey, why not record it? So I thought I'd record this video about a discussion I had the other day with someone known as Coach Deb on Twitter, @CoachDeb. She had made an assertion the other day during a presentation at the Rethink Hawaii conference. She suggested that Twitter is where the conversations are happening. And I suggested that that wasn't quite accurate. I am on Twitter, as you very well know, @Chris Pirillo. And I use Twitter all the time, but I don't use it for conversations. Some of you do. And that's kind of the equivalent of using a screwdriver to pound a nail into a steel door frame. Sure, it's a tool, but are you really using that tool the way it was designed to be used? Twitter was not designed for conversations. It's difficult to track conversations. To go one level deep into an interaction is an exercise in futility. I mean, have you ever visited a Twitter profile page and seen one person @replying another person string of 10 tweets in a row? You can't follow that. It's impossible. That's not a conversation. And if it is, man, I'd hate to be caught into a conversation with you. Anyway, I said that if you want to have a conversation, you're better off doing it on either Facebook or potentially even FriendFeed, which, by the way, was acquired by Facebook. That is where you can have a conversation. That can be tracked. Twitter is impossible to follow a thread. It wasn't built with threading in mind. It just wasn't. It's a good tool, but don't use it in ways that it was never meant to be used. Now, sooner or later, I'm sure Twitter's going to make it easier to follow threads. In fact, you can go to search.twitter.com and to a certain degree follow a conversation, if that is what you want to call it. An interaction, one-to-one, that's, easily done in direct messaging, which is pretty much like emailing or potentially even instant messaging. Just because everybody has a Twitter account doesn't mean that's where all the conversations are happening. Everyone has a bully pulpit. They have an opinion. They want to state it. They can respond to somebody else. But tracking anything beyond maybe one response, forget it. It's impossible. So I'm going to go on record as someone who's in this world of social media and say that Twitter is not for conversations. Now, if I've said that in the past, I wasn't thinking it all the way through. But I think it's when Coach Deb suggested that Twitter is where the conversations are happening, that's when I thought twice about that particular statement. It doesn't make sense. I don't use Twitter for conversations. I don't. If someone @s me on Twitter or mentions my name or something related to my name or brand, if I choose to follow up, it's by email or potentially by a direct message if they happen to be following me and I'm following back. But very seldom will I actually try to have interactivity with someone on Twitter. And if I do, it's only because I have information that could be useful for the rest of my community. There is an option to turn off tweets that are directed to one user that you might not be following, whether I am or not. I don't have that option toggled. Some people do. But I believe that a good tweet stream is, I guess, representative of you, your brand, your business. It's not a place to have conversations. That's just me. It's my opinion. I could be wrong. No doubt you probably disagree with me. In fact, if you do disagree with me, you're more than welcome to say so on Twitter. And if @CoachDeb happens to be watching this particular video, let me apologize for kind of pouncing on you as you left the room. Unfortunately, I did not have time to facilitate this discussion while the session was still happening. But if I came across as a little opinionated, it's just because I'm passionate about this. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. You can follow me on Twitter, @ChrisPirillo. I may follow you back if your tweet stream is valuable, if I find it interesting. You're also welcome to join me in my community of tech enthusiasts, geeks.perillo.com. Also got a series of ebooks, tips.perillo.com. YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome, where you are more than welcome to submit your own screencast if you happen to be a geek like me and you want to show something off on your screen, something related to software or something on the web. Accepting all types of submissions in exchange for promotion of your YouTube channel or potentially your Twitter profile. You're also welcome to join me in my chat room, which is a part of a live video feed, of which this is not one of the live video feeds because I'm in the car. I could stream from the car, I choose not to. And if you hear any noise in the background, that's not my engine or my tires, it's probably the sweet Seattle rain pouring down onto my windshield. Anyway, the live video feed is streaming into my home office, typically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are talking tech right there with the chat room and the live video feed at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.